Hey there, and welcome to the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. Now, once again, we've got a great show for you tonight. We've got another new undiscovered song from a returning artist back to the show, so we must be doing something, well, relatively okay. But we've got another, it's a cracker too. It is a really good song. But before we head down that path, let's welcome our co-hosts, and we're making it official, aren't we, Bailey?
We are.
It's now Bailey, Braggy, and Curly.
BBC.
The BBC.
The BBC. So welcome from the lockdown city, Matt Bailey, and from the place that we all love, Adelaide, welcome, Tave.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah. What a cracker of a show. And we've got our special guest, of course. We've got Sean Frazer from the Ritzy Kids, or who is the Ritzy Kids. How are you, Sean? Welcome back.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Sensational. Now we spoke with Sean. He reminded us a couple of months ago. It seems like just yesterday.
Yeah, the band's only, is it 3 months old now, I think, and you guys spoke to me first. It was like, I think the band had been 2 days old or something. So, it's good to be back.
Excellent. So just as a reminder, what we're going to do first up, just to remind those people who listened back to that episode, and so for some of our new subscribers, let's play the Ritzy Kids Breakthrough. This is their very first song that was released 3 months ago. The film clip's a cracker. It's hopefully it's doing well. And here we go.
From the start, you tried your hardest, but it fell apart. You tried so hard, but when the cracks began, you gave it up. Suck it up if you think you'll miss it. One time you wish you did it all. Dream big, you can make it happen. And don't stop your chance of breaking through and more.
cracker.
Thank you. There
What's
it is.
what's it like listening back to that, Sean? Now, after
It's always weird listening to you
Yeah.
sing, but no, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of that song, and so is Willard. Willard's in the clip, obviously, as well. He produced and mixed and mastered, and he played the drums on that one. It's the firstborn. It's the
Yeah.
first baby. So
Yeah.
we're really proud of him.
that's good.
And, yeah. And even more proud of the secondborn. So yeah.
Yes, I really like that clip. One of the things I noticed is when you're singing there, you got the Liam Gallagher stance when you do the when you're doing the vocals.
I'll take that. I like Liam Gallagher.
Me too.
I like his singing, and I like his singing style. Him as a person.
No, but I just noticed that.
I'll take that for sure.
Now, Sean, you released a second single recently on the was it 9th of August?
I think it was the 13th.
13th.
You were close.
I was close. was that week anyway?
Yeah. We released Sally, so the second single. This one was completely different to Breakthrough. Obviously, in Breakthrough, in that video clip there, you saw both of us together.
Yes.
Because we weren't in lockdown. This time,
Yeah.
the challenge. But you know what? It was it wasn't too bad in the end. We've both got our own studios set up, so yeah, we had to do that Sally in lockdown.
Yeah.
So that's Mitch, and Mitch is the drummer, yeah?
Yeah, Mitch is the drums.
Yeah, he's got some good chops.
So before we play it, who is Sally?
Is this a breakup song, or is this just
No, it's not a breakup song. It's Sally is in some way fictional, but it's a story about basically a negotiator talking someone down from a rooftop.
Gotcha. I heard that line.
And it was inspired by, the last 18 months for all of us.
Yeah.
It's been a rough time for some people, most of us really, with the pandemic and whatnot. And I never wanted to write a song about the pandemic or anything. I just hate it.
I'm the same, and if I do, you won't know it's about the pandemic.
That's so I've just given it up. That was I have the same thing, Bailey. I thought, there's a lot of people struggling at the moment, and the song is sort of about, telling people that, hey, there's going to be bright days ahead. At the moment, it sucks, and it sucks for a lot of us. But get down off the roof and let's get on with it.
So was Sally someone in your life, or was it a name from somewhere?
Sally just fit.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it just I actually came up with the chorus first, and although I came up with it first, I did change a few things. But Sally was just the first thing that was spitting out. When you got the guitar and you're strumming some chords and saying words. Some of them don't make sense, but
Sally, 2 syllables, and it works.
Yeah, and I just kept it, and then in the final thing we went, we'll keep it.
Brian Fallon from the Gaslight Anthem always uses the name Mary, and someone asked him why, and that was his grandma's name, and his grandma and mother actually raised him, so he wanted to honour his grandma, so that's why he put the name Mary in.
That's really cool. Brian's a great fella.
Isn't he? I love him.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's.
Oh no! We've got a story coming up soon, haven't we? Sean didn't quite hit the timeline. Was that?
That's right. That's right. So the last time I was on your podcast was obviously for Breakthrough, and then I said on the podcast, "Hey, in about a month and a half, well, I think it was a month, I said I'm going to be releasing this new song," which ended up being Sally. And then actually Bailey hit me up a month later, like to the day, because where's your new song? And I said, it's way behind time at the moment. And what had happened is, not long after doing the podcast with you guys, I was in here drinking red wine near the Mac.
As we do.
Near the MacBook, which I am again doing tonight. I still haven't learnt. And I spilt it I spilt it through the MacBook and it completely cooked my last one. And
Wow.
then I went on a holiday, like in a motorhome, about a day or two later. So I couldn't get it fixed, and there was all this time just spent, like, sitting there going, "I need to fix this bloody thing" while I was on holiday. And so it put me back a couple of months, and we had to re-record it, and it was a mess, an absolute mess.
If your next single's a couple of months away, we know you spilt wine on the MacBook again.
I hope not.
All right. Well, let's. I think we've all done our research. We can all probably agree the song is certainly not a mess. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Shall we play it?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hear me out, hear what I've got to say. You hop up the city looking down the bay. And on the plane, hey, it's jump on it goes away. When the world turns on you, it's hard to appreciate. It's quite a view to stare into from the rooftop, you bet you blues. Take my hand, a second chance. Come and walk with me again. Oh, Sally, now don't you let them get you down. Your heavy heart will patch it up and start again. As you slowly fall apart, they're closing down the streets. So far, it's you and me and the crowd below your feet. There's something on your mind, and I hope that you can find. I'm not ashamed to say I miss you. Take a step back for a while. It's quite a view to stare into from the rooftop, you bet you blues. Take my hand, a second chance. Come and walk with me again. Oh, Sally, now don't you let them get you down. Your heavy heart will patch it up and start again. If I could talk you down from that ledge you take aloud, I won't give up, I won't give up, I promise this.
Yeah.
Yep. Tight as at the finish.
Very
you.
powerful song, Sean.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's good fun. I can't wait to play it live one day. One day we'll get out of this, and it was,
Yeah,
it was
that'll
a
go
lot of
off.
fun to record. Hopefully,
Speaking of recording, you recorded it 3 times, correct?
yeah, that's right. So the first time I thought it was sounding pretty solid, and then I screwed the MacBook up. And then the second time we recorded again. I did it from home, and then I sent the stuff to Willard. Willard played the drums. He sent it back to me, and then I played the guitars over it again. And then something wasn't sitting well. We had a listen. He mixed it actually, and then we both agreed I could probably do better. And then we went again, and it was something there in that third one that we went, oh, I think this is the sound. This is how it should be. This is how the guitars should sound. And it took too long.
Yeah.
It felt like it took something like 8 weeks. But it's hard when you're recording from homes. You know, like I did not see Willard at all throughout any of that process, like face to face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to make something gel like that, isn't it, Sean? If you're not face to face, it's hard to get some emotion in it. I mean, you can put the emotion in it by yourself, but when you've got someone else to look at and you're both going together, you know, like when you're playing live, the reason it works so well is because it's 5 people's emotions or 4 people's emotions going out there. So I get it, yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think that could have been a huge factor in that way. But also in saying that, recording this way, if we can keep working at it, it is the way to go. Just budget-wise, money.
Yeah, for sure.
And we spoke about that last time, you know, being in the studio and looking at the clock.
Yeah,
Another $100 and, you know,
and
save time this time.
That's really frustrating. I mean, sometimes you'll book 2 or 3 days, and the first day you'll blitz it. You know, you'll write everything. You'll be creative as anything, and then halfway through the second day, when you're paying $800 a pop or something, you know, hey, some people are paying double that, and then you'll get halfway through that second day, and you'll be sitting there on the lounge, looking at the clock, going, I've got nothing else in my head. I can't. I'm exhausted.
You've still got to pay for that time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The
As
producer's
well.
sitting there waiting. It's full on.
So, Sean, you played all the guitars on there and the bass. Yeah. And you sang the harmonies with this. I really love the harmonies in your first song as well, and also on this one. Yeah. Well, it's not a lot of people put a lot of time into that. I don't think these days. So
I've just gotten into harmonies, and
I really appreciate it.
They make such a fucking difference.
And you know what? When you start doing them, you start listening to songs on the radio, and you start realizing how many songs have the harmony there the whole time. Like you think of someone like Split Enz or Crowded House. They've got harmonies right through their songs from verses to choruses, and you realize that does make the difference in the end.
Yeah.
I'm new to it. Like I've only been doing it a couple of years, but and I drive around in the car and I listen to a song and I'll try and harmonize to the song.
That's the way to do it, Sean. Yeah, that's it for sure.
And sometimes it's just shithouse, but you know, I enjoy listening to harmonies, so I just want to try and get better at it.
So you were saying, Sean, you started this one with the chorus, yeah? You came up with that first, just on your guitar?
Yeah, the chorus had a few chords written down and then put them through Logic Pro. I've got some software here, and sometimes I'll just loop, say, a verse until I can think of something, you know, come up with words.
And you come up with the guitar intro a bit later?
Yeah, I might have had the rhythm, and then I'll bring in the octaves weeks later. I could leave the intro with just bare chords and a bit of bass, and then I'll add that. I think that lead guitar bit or the octave bit got added real late in the game.
In the lead guitar bit where you did the harmony there. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I like that bit.
Yeah.
And I love the swell at the start. Who come up with that? There's you or Mitch come up with that?
That's all Willard, and he's like a magician. He's like a magician. I sort of like, he has been a producer for some big acts, and he's been quite successful on his own.
Yeah.
He used to be in a pop punk band on the Central Coast called Best Kept Secret. He was the singer.
Okay.
So he knows the genre very well. And he comes up with those sorts of ideas on the fly. And sometimes it's just natural to him. So I'll send him, hey, I think the intro should be like this. And then he'll go, hang on, give me a sec. And then he'll send it back and I'll go, what did you just do?
Isn't it great when you got someone like that who can sit back, because you're in the song writing it, and he can sit back outside it somewhat and go, oh, it needs this.
Yeah, and it'll just come naturally to him. He's got an ear for all types of genres, all types of he's very clever.
Mm.
How does it feel releasing music in 2021, Sean? You know, we spoke about the song about, you know, during a pandemic, like, you know, I got the feeling when I released the remix a couple of weeks ago, it's just a different feel because the world's just really depressed at the moment and a lot of people just really don't want to do anything.
I see the positives of it. I know that we can't go out and play our songs at the moment, and I'm probably pretty much banking on we probably won't do that this year. But I try to zone in on the positives, and the positives being that I've got a few friends that don't mind listening to my music, and if it makes them smile or, you know, it gets them through their day, then I'll keep writing music. I mean, I do write music selfishly for myself. I like to just get it out. But if there's a few people that enjoy it, you know, that's why I want to do it, and that's why I want to continue to do it during lockdown. And there's a lot of probably musos out there that are thinking, what's the point? There is a point, and that's to make people happy. Yeah, and to make themselves happy.
Great time to write music when we're in a world situation like this. You think of all the other times, you know, during the 60s when the shit was going down. A lot of great music came out of that time, and a lot of great music's going to come out of this time, I'm sure. Because people are sitting at home with those feelings, Bailey, like you say, you know, and they got to express them somehow.
Sally came out on the 13th.
Yep.
And I actually messaged Sean when I first heard it because I had a rough week that week and I didn't want to listen to it on the Friday or the Saturday. Took me a couple of days to actually listen to it. And I said, Sean, every lyric, I said, I felt that. So you helped me, Sean.
Oh, thank you. I see. That's going back to what we were just saying. You know, like
absolutely.
If you can help someone out with your music, then that's powerful. And I don't get messages like that. You know, like I can't just sit here and say I get them all the time. That would have been the first one I've gotten like that, and it was really nice to hear that. So thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. And I think one of the powerful things was the way you did the video, man, of like you in the middle and like two different people yelling in the ear, and then the chorus just belts out. Like there's such a strong message there that I hope everyone can see it because I can. That was the first time I heard it, was the lyric video.
So my brother will be absolutely stoked, and he'd be watching and listening right now. Now Nathan? I'll tell Nathan, because he actually, well, the video clip cost me $55. Right?
Was that a five job?
I'm giving away all the secrets now. I bought a green screen, and I set it up in the garage. Yeah. And one day I got home from work and I said, oh, well, I've got 2 weeks to go until the video clip's out and I really got to make something. And I stood in front of the green screen and I looked straight at the camera and I thought maybe the person facing the camera will sing the chorus. So I stood there still until it came my time to sing and I sang it. And then my brother Nathan said, why don't you have someone, well, you to the left and to the right, and you're talking to yourself. And I went, that's fucking brilliant.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So I did that.
Yeah.
Well done, Nate. Pour one out for Nathan. Well done, Nathan.
On you, Nathan.
On you, Nate. And that's so powerful and that's so creative as well. Yeah. Like someone explained to me the other day, you know, you can spend $50,000 on a music video, but it not go anywhere. Or you can be super creative and spend $1,000 and it does really well.
And that video talks to people. It's
Absolutely.
Just, you know, and one of the things that I've loved about both videos, Sean, has been the lyrics that are in there. And if there's a life coach out there, that they should be picking up and licensing that Breakthrough, because that's just such a positive, uplifting sort of a song in so many ways. And then Sally speaks to just that other side of what we're going through. So, you know, just an absolute cracker. And I guess I've got a couple of questions if I can butt into the musos.
Go
there.
for it, Curly.
What do the Ritzy Kids look like live? So you've got Willard and you've got yourself. So who else supplements you guys when you're live?
Well, we haven't played live yet, but I have contacted. Just before New South Wales went back into lockdown, I'd contacted a few fellas who I've played with before, a bass guitarist, a lead guitarist, and I said, hey, let's try it out. Let's give it a go. And I want you to be a part of the live band. So that's basically how it would operate. I'd bring in guys for the live band. But the Ritzy Kids, I mean, I'm writing the music and I'm giving it to Willard. He's throwing his drums on and he's mixing and mastering. That's how it's the fabric of the Ritzy Kids. But I'll probably get a couple of guys in on the live stuff. But I mean, we haven't been able to jam, haven't been able to play live. So only time will tell how the rest of it will work out. At the moment, we're focused on trying to just get songs out and build up a following.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it, mate, because both of those songs have been absolute crackers. So which leads me to probably my next question. It's, we've seen the transition from Breakthrough to Sally. So what's next? What's next what does this thing look like? What's the next song? What's the next 5 songs look like?
I am going to hopefully not curse myself here, but we've nearly finished the third, right? And this last time this happened, something went bad.
Keep that red wine away from the MacBook.
But I'm pretty excited about the next one. It's faster. And it's got another positive message, and basically the lyrics are about all the times I've screwed up in my life. There's a few verses in there about how many times I've screwed up and all the crap I've done. And by the time you get to the chorus, I'm like, hey, screw it. This is who I am. It's one of those songs where I'm like, this is me. I don't really, I can't say, some people say they don't have regrets. I think you can have regrets, and I probably got a few.
Of course.
But it's like, hey, this is me. This is who I am, and I probably won't change too much. I've grown up a little, but this is me sitting out on a platter. You know what I mean? This is it.
Well, that's going to appeal to the majority of people, I reckon.
I hope so.
Because we're all the same. So this one's going to be faster, Sean. You say so. We're getting progressively faster here, I notice.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking I want to start slowing it down, and this one's at about 210 beats per minute.
Woo.
This new one that's coming out. But Willard and I really like this one as a outsider looking in, I suppose. Like it's more to that genre that we love. Like I know it's all pop punk or it's all punk, but
I was going to say, so Sean, sorry to interrupt there. So just talking about your influences, I mean, I hear the Killers and Snow Patrol and all that sort of thing in your music. Is that where you kind of at?
Yeah, I love early Blink-182. Look, no, I'm not going to say early Blink-182. I'm going to say Blink-182.
Yeah.
I love Blink-182, love Green Day, Jimmy Eat World. But then I love Crowded House, I love Billy Joel, and I love Elton John. So
yeah, I mean, Sally is really it's a 3-minute, it's a 3-minute pop song. It's great. I love a great pop song myself. So even though you've got that post grungy style, it's really well arranged.
Well, thank you. Sometimes I listen to it and I can hear the influences that I've got. Like I'll be like, did I rip that off? Did I rip that off? Did I rip
we
that
all
off?
Have those thoughts.
But then
Still on those 4 chords,
hey,
Sean.
Hey, Paul Kelly.
Kelly's going to love this.
He loves just take a little bit. It's like a little bit from each artist, and he admits to it. I've seen him live, and he said it. He just grabs a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and then he makes this incredible song, and it goes to number 1.
When I think David Bowie famously said once when someone asked him about that writing process that we go through where we take things from there, he says, you can't steal from a thief, darling.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, everyone's stealing, right?
That's what it's about. Yeah.
It's a music world of burglars.
That's right.
Well, and just on that, you've just reminded me about weddings, parties, anything. You put out a song, Rosie and Gray, in one of their later albums, and they are unashamedly, it's a song by the Lowest of the Low in Canada. And the story was that the Lowest of the Low covered a weddings party. So weddings were, I think, the support band for Lowest of the Low. The Lowest of the Low did a wedding song, as you know, and of course you feel pretty chuffed when someone covers your music. So the next show when they were together, Mick Thomas got the team together and said, what are we going to sing? What are we going to sing? We've got to do a Lois of the Low song. So they chose Rosie and Grey. And they added a chorus and they changed the words and they mixed it all up. And when you listen to the songs, there's similarities, but they are so completely different. So I sort of get the concept with influences. You can't move your influences out of the room and totally get a brand new creative thought. You've got that stuff that's ingrained in you, and you are going to take those snippets. So
yeah, and I think the most simple songs are always the best. And Oasis. I know we were talking about Oasis before. You just listen to that, and if you shut your eyes, you can just picture the Beatles writing some of those songs. And I think Noel said that a lot of the stuff he has just ripped from the Beatles. He doesn't care.
Maybe that's where you got Sally from. Don't look back in anger. So Sally
could be. We were, you know what? That's funny. We were watching, my brother and I, we were watching Oasis live the other night. Nothing else to do. We just put on live concerts, and we put on Oasis, and then it got to that song, and I was, oh, Sally now, and I was like, oh, okay.
Nah, it's not like that at all. No.
Oh, Sally can't wait. That's the one.
Yeah.
All right. So when's the next one coming out? What's the timeline?
All right, hang on. I'm going to look at my. I reckon.
Don't knock your wine over.
No, I'm looking at the calendar. I reckon around September 30, maybe at the end of next month. Like I said last time.
Oh wow!
So just going to be releasing singles? Are you going to EP eventually in the works?
I think it'll form into an EP. I think at the moment singles are the best way. I've been listening and watching a lot of like music marketing. I'm trying to get my head around everything at the moment. Videos, songwriting. We're in lockdown. What else is there to do? And I was listening to a podcast yesterday on music marketing, and they were saying that singles are the way to go if you're brand new. Because if you drop a EP when you're brand new, you've wasted 4 songs. The 5th one people might like, but the other 4 people might not be into, or they'll only listen to the one single that you had. So I think the gist of what I was hearing was that just when you're starting out a new band or a new project, just release a couple of singles and build up a little following if you can. And if you get enough people involved, maybe drop an EP. And that will be what ends up happening. It will be an EP. I wouldn't say it'd be an album just yet. I'm not going...
It's a funny thing, like where you want to go. Like obviously I'm doing an EP, you're doing your singles, and it's a funny thing where you want it, because I get what you're saying as well.
Pushing the single every, say, 6 to 8 weeks, I think is what I'm looking at doing. I think 6 to 8 weeks is a good time where people go, hey, where's your next one? Where's your next, you know, and you go, oh, here it is. And then maybe by the end of the year, there'll be an EP with a couple of songs. I think the best way to do it is probably 3 singles, and then say, hey, you can get those 3 singles plus 2 more next Friday.
Yeah. Have you thought of an acoustic version of Breakthrough or Sally?
I noticed there's some acoustic guitar in Breakthrough.
Yes, I think Sally's the first song that I haven't had an acoustic guitar in a song, because obviously I do solo stuff as well, and that's always got the acoustic guitar. I love the acoustic. Acoustic is just what I've been doing for the last 10 years. You know, just solid acoustic, and now I've picked up the electric.
If a song's going to work, it's got to work just with you and the acoustic.
That's
first.
right. Yeah, I heard the singer of Unwritten Law say that the other day.
There you go.
He said he releases the punk stuff, but he'll always trial it on an acoustic guitar, and if it sounds shit on an acoustic guitar, then he won't release a song.
That's what I've heard Green Day say as well, because like, you know, early days they could just play at parties and it was just the acoustic guitars.
And you know what? I don't think I've played Sally on an acoustic guitar, so I'm not sure if that works.
But
I think it will.
Going back to the marketing as well, like, you know, you've done 2 albums, and when you look at, you know, an artist that's signed to a record label, when they put out an album, they've got music videos and all that promo.
Yeah.
Where a good thing is about the singles, you can put everything into the one single.
Yeah, that's
rather
right.
than try and do everything. So you can, like you've done the single, then a couple of days later the video will come out and then work on the next one.
Yeah, and I think I said in your podcast last time the best thing for a musician in 2021 is to learn video. Whether that's just grabbing your phone and talking to your followers, or recording yourself playing acoustic, or recording stuff and chopping it up on a computer. It's actually really easy to do. Just people don't want to do it, but it makes the biggest difference. I've noticed making little videos where I just talk about a song, or, it's honestly, it takes 5 minutes. I reckon I'm getting better engagement now, and I wish I had have done this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I kick myself for that. The best thing you can do is use video to promote music.
Yeah, and you've got that one on YouTube at the moment where you're talking about Sally
In the backyard.
So,
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
it's and it's so true. And even if it's just about learning how to do stuff, because then you're not going to get ripped off when someone says, "I can do your video for you." You know what it takes. You know the time. You know the technology. So if someone comes to you and says, "We'll do that same video that's cost you $50 odd for Sally," we can make that for $5,000. You know it's a rip-off. And so, yeah, it's always good to get the skills.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly just think everyone that plays music, every single person, should just have a look at it. It's not hard to do, and it will benefit you in the long run. Video, visuals is where it's at.
Because
for your
I've
music.
noticed that you're talking on your stories a lot more, Sean, as well.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I think even being in a music video, I hate as well. And people I work with and stuff, they'll be like, "Oh, you bloody, you're doing your music videos and stuff. Oh, I didn't know you did this." And I'll say the same thing I'm saying to you. I don't like doing it, but I see the benefit in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I asked the guy once, I said, "Why do you post so many stories?" He said, "Because if someone wants to buy from you, they have to know you, have to like you, and have to trust you. And talking through the stories, people get to know you, that your sense of humor, what you like. They'll choose whether they like you or not, and whether they can trust you."
Another thing is whether they like you or they don't like you, they're all watching. Because
Exactly.
there's something about watching someone with a camera to their face, and some people will be like, "Oh, who's this guy? Who's he think he is talking to the camera?" But at least you've got their attention too. Maybe you can change their mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good. I agree with you. It's good to learn how to do it yourself. But if you can have someone in your pocket that's an expert in that field, like you have Mitch with the production, do you know what I mean? Someone else who's outside it, sometimes that's a good thing. I think
it's always good.
The more collaboration you do, the better. I know you don't want to go spending the money, but if you've got someone who maybe a little bit more expertise at, putting together a clip, has had a little bit more practice, it's handy.
It could be your friend or your brother
Yeah.
with ideas.
Nathan.
Yeah, you've got to let people. What I've been doing recently with the music is I'll send an email to say a couple of people. My girlfriend, she gets all the songs before they're released, and it's funny. Some people, might think, "Oh, why am I valuing her opinion? She doesn't know anything about music." She does. She listens to
Absolutely.
music. She listens to the same music that I listen to. She drives to work and she listens to the pop punk sort of stuff. So I can send it to her, and actually her opinion is just as valuable as
for sure. She's a punter
who's in the game.
She's a punter who you can trust.
That's right.
To not piss up your ass or whatever, he'll tell you straight. "Oh, I don't think that one. I'm not sure about that." Or you got to, but you got to be big enough to take all that on board as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and you know what? I get this weird sensation when someone says, "Oh, I don't know about that."
Yeah.
I actually it doesn't fully affect me in a bad way. I go, why? Like, what's going on? What don't you like about that? And I'll just sit there and listen to what they have to say about it, and then I'll go back and listen to it, and maybe change it if I agree with them. I allow it to come in.
It is hard though, isn't it? Especially when it's your baby, and you're really happy with it, and then someone, and you're down that one road, thinking, "Oh man, this is really good." And someone mentions one thing the other way, and you go, "That can't be right." But it takes a lot of willpower, to sit back and take that on board if you can. Yeah, they're not always going to be right, but
I'm sort of in a debate at the moment. There's a song that I wrote just before I was going out to dinner with Maddie, and 20 minutes before we're going out to dinner, I'm sitting there recording a song. She's like, "What are you doing?" Like, we're going out to dinner. Anyways, I get back the next day and I start really working on this song, and I go, "Hey, this could be a Ritzy Kids song. This could be it." And she was like, "Nah, solo. That's a solo song." And then I was like, "Oh, I've got to try someone else." So I go to my brother. I go, "What about this one?" I go, "What about this one? This one's Ritzy Kids." And he goes, "You know what? That would be a great song solo." And I'm like, "Oh, shit.
That's two people, man. You've got to listen now."
So I send it to Willard in the band. And I go, "Man, wrote this song. What do you reckon?" And he goes, "You know what? Be good if you did that one solo."
Oh, yeah. See, it's funny you mentioned that, because when I released, sorry to bring this on me, but when I released Crew Life, I didn't want anyone to listen. I was like, "Nah, this is my baby. Don't want anyone to listen." Then the remix, I had the remix. I sent it to Tony. I sent it to my partner. I actually let people listen first because I heard Ed say in lockdown it was just him and his wife. So, she's listened to his whole album, because at the end of the day, people around us, they're our listeners, not ourselves. Like, we're into it. So I'm going to do that for the EP. I'm going to let someone else choose my single, because I don't want to.
That's cool.
And so you mentioning that about what Mads was really interesting.
It's sort of concurs with the conversation that Tave and I had when Tave's first album for the Blow Up Sweethearts was very much focused around where Tave wanted those songs to go, and I'm speaking for you, Tave, because I know that you don't like that sort of thing. But the next one will be different, because there's so much that people can bring into it.
That's right. Yeah, I learned a lot from doing that first one for sure. Yeah, I wanted it to be all my way, and I don't think none of the boys would say that, but I know next time to let there be much more collaboration. But it's hard, but when you're in lockdown, when we did the first one, we weren't in lockdown. But when you're in lockdown, it's hard to do that if you're by yourself, and like Sean's saying, and it's just you in the room, and you're not eye to eye.
Absolutely.
That's when you get the best collaboration, when you're eye to eye and you're playing them together, and you go, "Oh, I could go that way." Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I doing that through email and Facebook Messenger is quite a funny experience.
Facebook Messenger, my God.
I'll be writing to Willard. I'll be like, "Hey, I've sent you the new rhythm guitars," and then he'll write back and he'll go, "Well, they're all out of time."
I have exactly the same experience with my guy like that.
Yeah, and you'll be like, "All right, well, I'll have a look," and then he'll be like, that's it. But it's funny because you're like looking at words, and it's probably better if we just started chatting through the phone or something, but we'd use a messenger, and it is harder when you're not sitting across from each other, saying to each other, don't do that, let's do that. It's harder through messenger. But it works.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, once again, it's been a pleasure having you on the Unfiltered Undiscovered podcast. Let's hope we've brought a couple of new subscribers and people that love your music your way. How can they connect with you? Where can they listen to Sally?
Yeah, you can listen to Sally on YouTube. I throw it up on Facebook, and I throw it on Instagram. Instagram is at the Ritzy Kids Band. And just type in the Ritzy Kids on YouTube and you'll find all our videos.
We've lost Curly.
We've lost Coach Curl.
He's gone.
He's
gone.
Coach Curl's gone.
He's gone.
Oh, I can still see all you guys.
He's still here. Yeah.
And Sean, is there any chance we can get an exclusive of the name of the third song, or are you going to keep that a secret? I've got to do the reporter thing,
I think I might hold it. I think I'll hold
That's
it.
fine. I get you. I had to try.
That was good. You got me off guard.
Quick, don't spill that red
and
wine.
of course, we will have Sean's links in the show notes. We've added Sally and Breakthrough to the Unfiltered Undiscovered playlist on Spotify. My wife loves the playlist, and she just loves hearing all these songs. So I think that
Curly, you're
tune in.
unseen at the moment.
He's unseen.
Sorry. Oh, it's don't worry about that. Don't
He's
worry.
video, it's just going to show you. Tave, can you,
As long as you can hear me, that's the main
can
thing.
you show Sean your T-shirt? Look, I didn't get mine today. But
you got
look,
your own
there we go.
T-shirts.
We're back.
What have I got to do to get one of them?
What's the name of your next
Wow.
single, Sean?
Well, yeah, and I've really got to say, Matt, your new microphone—that's a 1-300
mate.
sex line.
Yes.
Michael, can I be honest?
Hey,
Can I be
hey,
honest?
it's Matt here.
This is Matt Daly, 555.
When we had Sean on the first time, Sean's microphone was like sounded so good, and I just sounded so shit. I'm like, that's it. I've got to do some research and sound good. So I did some research, and it came on Saturday. Of all days.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds really good.
Thank you.
excellent. All right, so before we sign off, we've been going for just over 45 minutes. Fantastic conversation. A couple of words about Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts passed away this week, and from the Musos. I mean, Charlie's the guy behind setting the beat for the Stones. So
What a great drummer, solid drummer. Man, listen to some tracks like I want to say
Start me up.
No, I'm gonna say what's it called?
What a great career, though.
Midnight Rambler. Have a listen to Midnight Rambler for a great shuffle beat from Charlie. Do you think the Stones will still keep going now? Keith Richards did say when he asked him, they said, "Oh, Charlie's an integral part of the band," and Keith Richards said, "Charlie Watts is the Rolling Stones."
wow.
So,
Yeah,
Wow.
I was reading. I think we were reading the same article. He was the backbone, and he was the sensible one, the one that didn't. I think he took drugs back in the early days, but I think he really corrected himself, and the others just partied. Partied
some
and
more than
partied.
others.
And he was married to his wife from 1964 up until
Wow.
his passing. A loyal man,
Yep.
a great man. And I was also reading another story about him when Mick Jagger called him something like...
He said they were having a band discussion, I think, Sean, and he said to him,
"You're my drummer?"
Yeah, they phoned him up and said, "Where's my drummer? I want him around here now."
That's right. And
Continue.
then he does go up and see him. He walks to the hotel, and he was always impeccably dressed. He's got his suit on. He had his tie on, and he goes up to Mick Jagger's room and he knocks on the door. I think Keith Richards opens up the door and lets him in. He walks up to Mick Jagger and he says, "You're my singer. I'm not your drummer." Bang!
That's
Cracks
it.
him. I think he knocked him out or punched him across the table, and I think Mick Jagger learnt after that. I won't say he's my drummer anymore.
That's cool. Yeah, I think Jagger was getting a bit too big for his boots at that point in the Stones' time, and that really brought him back into line.
Yeah. But Tate was mentioning we lost someone from the...
We lost one of the Everly brothers as well. That's going way back. So the Everly brothers were like a 50s doo-wop harmony sort of band. They influenced Simon and Garfunkel with their harmonies.
Yeah.
That's pretty old school.
Been an awesome show, gentlemen. Thank you so much to Bailey and Braggy, and of course our special guest Sean Frazer. All those links, especially the Spotify link or the link where Sean can actually make some money, will be in the show notes. So,
a little bit,
and
a
of
little bit
course,
of money. It's
yeah,
0.9 cents a play or something.
But play it a lot.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I just want to mention, we're on YouTube now. We've got a YouTube channel. We've actually been testing the live stream as we've gone tonight. It seems to have gone all right. So we've actually had people watching us online.
People,
So
actual
that might be
people.
something that we do from here on in. So
Curly, we might need to put a little bit of a thank you out to my friend Sam Marshall, who
that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Sam Marshall, who has done up. I don't know, what do you call it, Curly? What the
The
artwork,
new
the artwork.
branding for Unfiltered and Undiscovered. So looks awesome.
Yeah, he's a drummer. We'll have to get him on sometime.
Yeah, and look, just while we're doing a shout out, if there's any T-shirt designers out there, Tave Bragg came up with this brilliant quote last week where the world needs more musicians and less politicians, and I think we've got something that's saleable with that quote. So if there's any T-shirt designers, hit us up, because I reckon that's just so true, but isn't it? So more musos, less ScoMos. So
That's it.
That's all right. Got to
That's
redo
it.
it.
Why is the universe always taking musicians like Charlie and not taking those politicians?
Absolutely.
Is that too harsh?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey,
and, you're doing great things.
keep
for
up the good
independent
work, Sean.
artists. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're doing a
Just
great
don't
job.
hang up yet, Sean. So it's so we'll sign off now from Bailey,
See you guys.
Bye
Braggy,
for now.
and Curly. See you all later. We'll see you next week.